All right, welcome back. So now what we're going to do is talk about what you're going to learn. We're going to break down the entire framework of action planning right now, and then we're going to go through each of the modules, so each of the 4 weeks, and practice these things on an ongoing basis, okay? So you're going to get introduced to the program right now. So if you feel like you get lost later down the road and you want to come back to this video as a refresher, definitely do that. All right, let's get this thing started. All right, so what is it? So we're here to bring focus to what matters, okay? That's exactly what we're trying to do. Bring focus to what matters, because you have a lot of things that you have to take into account every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year, okay? So action planning, why? So are you struggling with getting things done? Now, so what's an example of this? So every week you have a specific task or a specific project that you're doing, and you feel like you're always getting to the very last seconds or days or minutes to get something done, and it's driving you bonkers, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm still doing this and struggling. Okay, we want to eliminate that. Another one is you feel like you don't know where to start. Have you ever had a project where you're like, whoa, this is so big, where do I start? Oh, wow, I just got this new responsibility. Where do I start? Oh, I just got this new design task from a manager, and I'm just like, where do I start? You know, knowing where to start, or having the confidence of knowing where to start, is going to be a huge thing for you, and we're going to talk about that in this training, in this program. We're going to help you with that. Another one, do you feel like you're working really hard, but you're not really getting anywhere? That's a really painful thing to know. It's like, okay, you show up, you're working from 9 to 5 every day, you're working your butt off, but you don't feel like you're moving the needle. You don't feel like you're actually having the type of impact that you desire, that you want. The ambition is there, but the outcome is not there, okay? We're going to fix that. Or another thing, do you feel like you're not working on your dreams, right? So you've spent the last 5 years of your career, or the first year of your career, or the last 15 years of your career, and you don't feel like you've put any effort into your passion projects, your personal projects, your dreams. And it might be because you just don't know how to structure or you might know how to do this, but you might need another tactic for how you do this. I'm not trying to say that you don't know how to do this, but there's a way to be able to work on all the things that are super important to you. Okay? So we're going to do that. And do you feel like kind of slow, or like you're not really progressing an idea, and you're just like, okay, well, I'm feeling a little slow with this, and I'd like to speed it up. I'd like to see the results a little bit faster. That could be you. And do you want to increase that velocity and the performance of your output? Most of these answers are yes. Like, I do want to solve these. I do want this thing. That's really important. And you also feel like you're not spending the time in the right area. So when you're spending your time, are you like, wow, is this what I should be spending my time on? Or is this what I should be spending my time on? But really what we're trying to do is to create the focus so that you're spending the time in the right areas, the right focus. We're going to talk about that today too. So again, here's all the things. Do you feel like you're not spending the time? Do you want to increase velocity and performance? Do you feel slow, like you're not progressing an idea? Do you feel like you're not working on your dreams? Do you feel like you're working really hard but not getting anywhere? And do you feel like you don't know where to start, or you're struggling with getting things done? Maybe you don't relate to any of these topics, or maybe you relate to all of them. But even if you don't relate to all these things, the actions and the responsibilities that you have to do on a day-to-day basis are still going to be relevant here, and we're still going to be able to help you. We're still going to be able to help if you're at a, if you rated yourself from 1 to 10, if you're rating yourself as a 2 on a planning, or if you rated yourself as an 8 on planning, you can always get to that 10. You can get to that better level. So we're still going to be working on this, and we're still going to be practicing this. So always come back to these videos if you need a quick refresher on that. So what will we do in this program? Well, we're going to become a better action planner. We are going to become a better action planner. I'll say it one more time. We are going to become a better action planner. I believe in you. We're going to do this. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be fun. Action planning can be really fun, and because it's helping you align what's important to you, so you can go and tackle the biggest things in your life so you can achieve more. All right, so let's open the door to this. What will we do in the program? We're going to do three things. We're going to gain clarity. We're going to integrate process into our life. And then we're going to practice these tactics, okay? We're going to do three things. Clarity, process, tactics. Clarity, process, tactics, okay? So we're going to have a way to understand our work. We're going to have a way to integrate what we understand into our actions. And we're going to have practice tactics that we can implement on a day-to-day. All right, now there's two other things. Well, what type of practice? We're going to have daily practice tactics, we're going to have weekly tactics, and we're going to have monthly tactics, because we need to be able to reflect at the beginning, the middle, and the end of our life cycle of our work. So you have a 3-month project that you have in place. What are you doing daily? What are you doing weekly to make sure that your daily actions are moving forward? What are you doing on a monthly basis to make sure that you're still moving in the right direction with your team? We're going to talk about all those things. What we're also going to do is understand that this is 100% adjustable. So I'm going to provide resources and provide tips and provide planning strategies, but you still have to take those strategies and implement them into your day-to-day life. And you can follow it completely, like every single detail, or you might find that you just want to pull a certain topic that I teach and use that as a test. Use that as a test for 1 week. Use it as a test for 2 weeks. And the important thing to know is it's 100% adjustable. So do what is right for you. Do what you can to integrate this into your work schedule. But I gotta say, if you're struggling, then definitely try to follow it at least one time. Go through the process and see how it adapts to your lifestyle and what works and what doesn't work. All right, so let's look at this little map. So right at the very top, we have this individual where, say that's me. In my life, I have needs, I have wants, and I have desires, right? There's things that I need, there's things that I want, and there's things that I desire. Like, okay, I'd love this, I'd love that, but I know that I have to do a certain amount of things in my life. And then when I slow down, look at my priorities in my life, I have projects, passion, career, personal. Projects, career, passion, personal, right? It's like these 4 things. I have to worry about my career. I have to think about my career. How am I going to advance it? I have to think about the projects inside of my career or my projects inside of my home life or whatever. So I have like maybe A, B, and C of that. Then I have my passion projects, right? Like developing Next Level UX was always a passion for me. And I got to a point where I was now able to pursue it because I understood all the building blocks that were necessary to make this come to life. So I have my passion and then my personal, like what am I doing in my life? Vacationing and exploring new places and helping raise my son and becoming a great husband for my wife. And so all these 4 quadrants. So what we're going to do with action planning is we're going to help you structure all these 4 things so you can be a better planner. And if you just wanted to focus on your projects, that's totally fine. You can do that. But I do want to give you the ability to reflect on these other things like your career and your passion and personal so that you can have that in your repertoire if you need it. So with that, there's a lot of complexity, but we need to organize it, to plan better, to do the things we need to do with care. Right? We're not trying to create more work for you. We're trying to create more intentional work for you so that you can plan better, so that you can be organized with the complexity in your life, and so that you can do the things that you need to do. Right? So if we move on a little bit further, we want you to do this at your pace. Right? My pace is going to be different than your pace. I've been practicing this for a long time. If you haven't been practicing this for a long time, then you might need to go at a slower pace. If you're amped up and ready to go and you want to go in hard, then go in hard. But just know that you can change this based on your ambition level. If it's really big, great, you can go big. If it's small, that's okay too. Go small, stay focused, do it at your pace. All right, now what we get to look about is like the breakdown of the content, right? What is happening in action planning? What is all the content that we're going to do and cover? Because we're breaking this into weeks. So in the first week, right, we're going to do onboarding, right? We're doing onboarding right now. We're trying to understand what's going to be involved in this experience. Then we have week 1, which is clarity. Clarity is so important, and it's basically putting a mirror in front of yourself and saying, what is my identity as a professional? How do I want to identify as a professional? What do I want to do? What do I want to be? How do I want to show up? The second one, let me go back to clarity. So not only are we going to identify, we are going to understand two other things. We need to understand, how do we want to interact with other people? How do we want to show up in every single one of our actions with intentionality, purpose behind our interactions? We're going to understand that, because that's going to also be a driver to help us have a certain level of quality bar for who we are and how we want to show up. The third thing is the understanding and knowing what success looks like for you. You've gotten to this point, you've gotten your degree in design or engineering or product management or whatever it may be, and you've got to this point where you're like, this has really gotten me far in my life. Understanding what has gotten you to success is really important, but also understanding what's going to help you maintain success and get you to that next level is just as important. So we're going to identify those things. The second thing in the week 2 is we're going to start understanding your goals. And we start with goals after clarity, because we want to really understand where the ambition lies. How big or small do we want to go? Not that you have to go small, but like what is the range of your goals and how do we want to do that? So we'll break those things down, teach you how to do that. Then we'll do the breakdown. So this is the most complicated part. So week 3 is like, you have goals and ambition, and how do you take those big giant things and simplify them? How do you break them down into milestones? How do you break those milestones down into action items? How do you break down those action items into getting things done and planning those into your schedule on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, right? How are you using your time? So that's also what we're going to talk about. And then week 4, we're just going to be practicing how to stick to the plan that you create. How are we going to learn and adapt? So you're going to get into this movement where you're going and you're flowing, and then all of a sudden, like, you're going to have like 3 or 4 different distractions that hit you in your life. How are you going to maintain course, stick to the plan, and keep working through it? Okay. Then after that, we have 3 bonus tactics that I'm going to unlock for you. And these things are going to be able to help you with week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. But these are like kind of bonus material, so we'll share those and save those for later. And then we'll have a recap. And then we'll talk about how you can do this. And if you need to come back to action planning after you've gone through it, you can come back to it and reignite your passion, reignite your goals, reignite the breakdown, so you can come back here and practice these things, so you can really start to build it into your muscle memory. All right, and then we'll talk about next steps with options, opportunities, and opt-ins. So we'll be able to opt in after you do this to a community, right? So you can practice. I'll talk about getting accountability. I'll talk about having fun and just connecting with others on an ongoing basis, so you can just build your network, right? And then we have a Facebook group for Next Level UX where you can ask questions and, post pictures or do anything around action planning, so you can get support. And that's it. So what do you say we just get to it? Let's jump in. I hope you're excited for this. I'm excited to teach you this. And, without further ado, let's get started.